Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope you are well. This is just an additional lecture that I'm recording. It will assist you in your scheduling. With everything now being postponed slightly, I'm sure you will be able to incorporate this into your tasks and will assist you in any scheduling or understanding how scheduling works. So I'm just going to run through it quickly to try and keep the video as small as possible, and you will also I'll also make this video available, or the slides available, so you can go through that. I'll also post some additional material so that you can actually look at scheduling methods and so on, which will assist you in this manner. So I'm just going to run through it quickly. So basically, this is, like I said, an additional scheduling video. So it's based on a book called Construction Methods by Cook and Williams. So, and I'm doing this little lecture from chapters 8 and 9. So I'm just going to run through it, and then you will be able to assist yourself going forward. Okay, so what we've got is basically just the introduction. Something that I just want to highlight here is you will see in table 8.2 to note there is different scheduling methods. So you have your planning stage or stages, your design stage, pre-contract stage, and your contract stage. So you have different scheduling methods for all of these at different stages. So currently for your task, you're looking at your pre-tender stage or your planning stage. So you will either do these two types of scheduling. Your pre-contract stage is usually when you go out on contract. Then you have a schedule that your contractor usually base his contract on, but it's not final. So you will have a master program which includes your design phases up to the completion of the project. So basically stages 1 to 6. And then you have your target program, specific targets to be met. For instance, one section of a building has to be complete before tenants can go in, that type of thing. Then you have subcontractor programs, and then you have procurement, your procurement program. Okay, so all of these are pre-contract. So your contractor during the tender phase might look at some of these tenders and so on, but then when he's appointed and the contract is not yet signed, some of these programs will be enhanced. So, and then you have your contract programs, which is your stage programs, your short-term programs, and then your as-built program, which is basically at the end of the project, or as things change, your program is constantly being updated and so on. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what programs there are. So for your task, you're basically looking at these two programs, and which incorporates your construction period, but that's usually only a one-liner or so to show the contract period will be 3 months, 6 months or so. So you don't have detail up to the point of where your foundations is, when the roof is going up, when the windows goes in, and that type of thing. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. And then I just highlighted the different stages. You will see something interesting. The extract here shows the SACP-CMP, so that's the Council for Construction Project Managers, and you will see it's exactly the same as the QS and Architects stages, so interesting to note. Okay, so here's an example of your project master schedule. So you will have your design phase, or you might have your different phases here, your tender phase, your construction phase, and then your occupation. Just remember, this is now an extract from the book, so they're not working on our 6 stages, but you can definitely use these types of schedules or items in your different stages as you need. Okay, so this is just a nice example of that. So you can see what they've done here. They use a negative dates or timeline up to the point where the contract actually starts, where the contractor gets onto site. So just note that it's not necessary for you to do that. That's usually in a more advanced programs you can actually use negative dates like this. Okay. So here's an example of an actual master schedule that we did for a tender at the Polynomy Hospital. It was in 2015 that we did this schedule, so you can just get an idea of this. So ideally, when you start out, is you need to list your different stages, and then you have to look at what you are going to do underneath each stage. So it's up to you how that is put together. Okay, so just another concept that you can look at is lead times. I'm not going to go into that. You can look at this in your in the slides that I'm going to post. Work breakdown structures is basically goals that you will set for yourself. It's not that important for you to know about this. You can go through that. Just different levels of work breakdown structures, so you can read through this work. Then you have additional stages and that you can keep in mind. This is just to assist you in the actual planning stages. So I'm just going to skip through these slides. You can go through them. It's all just to assist you in how the thinking goes if you do some planning. Okay, so pre-contract planning. Okay, I'm just going to skip through this. Contract planning, etc. Okay, so this is just an explanation of what each item is, so you can go through this at your own leisure. Okay, so the main thing is whenever you do planning is to apply your mind, and that's the one thing that we as humans do. We plan ahead, we run different scenarios ahead of time of how things will work. The same as what you do with your design is you think of your occupants, how they're going to use the building that you're designing. So the same thing with scheduling is you plan and think of how things are going to unroll, how the design is going to be influenced, what type of people you're going to work with, that type of thing. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through these slides. I want to get to chapter 9. So you're more than welcome to go through all of these slides. Okay, so chapter 9, the thing that I want to get to is that you've got different ways of presenting your schedule. So you've got bar charts, link bar charts, arrow diagrams, precedence diagrams, line of balance diagrams, time chainage. It's just interesting to know. What we're going to look at is linked bar charts. It's the easiest to convey the message to your client and for you to understand. Arrow diagrams is just the inner workings. That's more advanced for the construction managers. Usually where you create your critical path and so forth. Okay, so this is typically how your different bar charts looks, and you have your different connections. So you can just go through these and just note that there's different way of linking your different items. So you might have a finish to start. This is all going to be explained in the next slides. Is you've got your finish to start items is so whenever item's done, the next item starts. But then you have scheduling allowed, so whenever a design, for instance, if the architect's finished up to a certain point, the engineers can start doing their designs. So you have a bit of leeway that you can apply. So you don't have to have the whole design done and only then the design from the engineer starts. So you can save a bit of time by starting your design earlier. So this is just why you have this different linkages. So you've got your start to start with delay or without delay. So start to start is just basically when one item starts, the other one can start as well. Finish to finish is when this one is finished, the other one should be finished as well. Then you've got your start to finish, so whenever this one starts, the other one can finish, or whenever this one starts, the other one should be finished, that type of connection. So all just for noting for this stage for you, but it's worthwhile to just note that whenever you do your scheduling. The most important thing for you from this chapter is basically your design methods, or developing your bar chart. So you would list your items first, then you would schedule the time periods, and then you would link them accordingly. So that is the main steps that you go through whenever you do your scheduling. Okay, so then advantages of bar charts, you can just go through that, why we use them and so forth. Like I said, this is just an additional video to assist you in your tasks, and also to assist you in whenever you get into practice. So just go through these to assist you in doing your actual work. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through the rest. I think most of the other items will be a little bit more advanced, like for instance your arrow diagrams is not important, so I'm just going to skip through all of these slides, and you can have a look at this, but this is not that important. Just note that if you do need to develop your critical path or prioritize your items, that the project managers and the QSs at many stages do actually go through all of this to get the optimum design going. So thank you very much, and we'll talk again.